Hello, everybody. It's me, Boss, back with yet another boxing prediction round. Well, this is the last week. Well, last weekend was one hell of a boxing weekend, or what? Yeah, but actually, already on Thursday, we have some action for you that is worth mentioning and covering. Yeah, so Jermaine Franklin is making his return to the ring against an unknown opponent. Yeah, and his name is Devin Vargas. Yes, Jermaine, or it is Jermaine, not Jermaine. All right, sorry. Yeah, so Jermaine Franklin, you know him from his fights with what's his name, Dillian White, yeah, and also he fought um, who did he fight last? Yeah, well, Anthony Joshua, yeah, that's right. But he gave him a pretty good fight still. I thought he deserved to win definitely against Dillian White. He did win that fight, should have won that fight. But his big problem is obviously lack of power. And that in the heavyweight division, that is a big problem, of course. And also, he's not a very tall, heavyweight at 6'2", but he is kind of big otherwise. Yeah, he's a heavy set guy, and that's why he fights at heavyweight. Obviously, he can't fight anywhere below like cruiserweight. So his opponent is actually 42 years old. Wow. They are both around the same height, 6'2", and Franklin has a slight reach advantage, almost 2 inches, well, 1.5. But that's not a big deal. The big deal is that, however, Vargas has lost his last 4 fights, and 3 of them by knockout, actually. Yeah, so this is obviously meant to be like a tune up fight for Franklin, and before he can move up and move on with his career eventually. I mean, he definitely has the skill and the hand speed to compete with the best out there, but he doesn't have the power. That will always be his great handicap. So he will always rely on judges in all the big fights, and that's not a good thing, of course. We know in today's boxing there are so much corrupt judging and even refereeing sometimes. You saw what happened last Saturday in the Usyk versus Fury fight. So yeah, but Devin Vargas, yeah, I see everybody here on this side has picked Franklin to win by a knockout. And yeah, if he can knock out someone, is definitely Devin Vargas. So, I mean, Jermaine Franklin does have 14 KOs, so 22. So it's not like he's feather fisted, but he doesn't have real power, like big, heavy knockout power, concussive, And yeah, so that was shown clearly when he fought White. He landed many punches on him, but wasn't able to get him in any kind of trouble. So yeah, there you go. And Franklin will win this fight for sure, one way or another. So that's a no-brainer. All right, then we have on Friday we move on. This is actually a catchweight fight. It's weird. It's a heavyweight, a heavyweight fight in Poland. But this guy Lukasz Rozanski, he was, I believe, the one who beat the first one to beat and stop Alen Babic recently, and he was how do you say, how do we call it, bridger weight? Yeah, that was at bridger weight, and yeah, so Rosansky is, but however, only 6 feet tall, while Okolie is the opponent. Did I say that? Lawrence Okolie, former WBO cruiserweight champion, at 6'5" and 7 years younger. Rosansky is, by the way, 38 years old already. Holy crap! So yeah, I mean, Rosansky has only had one significant fight so far. That was against Babic, who didn't look in good shape, in that fight anyway. He had just broken with his longtime trainer and stuff. But anyway, this is a good first fight for Okolie at the new weight. And since he will be fighting away in Poland, he must really put on a good performance to win. It will not be enough with another holding and hitting snooze fest, with a lot of hugging and just some punches being connected, like he has done with some of his title fights at cruiserweight. Okolie, we know everybody knows he's not the most exciting fighter out there, but he does have power when he connects. That's the problem. He doesn't always connect, and yeah. So Okolie is, maybe better suited to fight at heavyweight because of his size, and reach and everything. He's 6'5", as I said, 82-inch reach. Big, huge height and reach advantage for Okolie, and also quite a big age advantage. The only advantage Rosansky has is that he is still unbeaten. That's the only advantage. Okolie 19-1 with 14 KOs, and Rosansky 15-0 with 14 also KOs. Good knockout, ratio for Rosansky. So he does have power, obviously. So Okolie must be careful there, not to get caught by any big counter punches or swinging left right hooks by Rosansky. I think Rosansky will be looking to put on a good show, score a knockout, but it will not be easy, of course, against a much bigger man who, also you might say is considered a better fighter here. He was the champion of the world for a while, and has slightly more experience, and he started in this. Most importantly, he started in this game younger than Rosansky. So yeah, I expect actually a pretty good fight. When two guys of very different sizes meet. I mean height wise mostly. It usually produces an interesting fight. With the shorter guy, taller guy looking to bomb out the shorter guy from the outside, with his long reach and land long punches, while the shorter guy, he always looks to catches the taller man coming in with uppercuts and all those whatever he has to throw to stop him and slow him down and stop him. So Rosansky, I mean, I saw the Babic fight. He looked good there. He is pretty fast, especially now at heavyweight. He will be. However, I don't know really. Babic was always, an accident waiting to happen. Put it that way. He was gonna lose sooner or later with his style fighting, his poor defense. So yeah. Anyway, I think this will be pretty interesting. But Okolie is slightly more favored to win because he does have, well, you can say he's got one punch power. At least at cruiserweight, he did have And this guy is more or less a cruiserweight. Rosansky is not a true heavyweight, really. So yeah. But I don't know if this will end in a knockout. And this is of course Okolie's first fight after losing to Bill Smith. So yeah, this will be an interesting fight. As I said, it's more safe, I guess, to pick Okolie, even though he has also his own defensive issues and whatnot. But if he lands the right punches, then he can definitely get Rosansky out of there. And he will be, obviously he has to put on a good performance to win here. He will not be favored by the judges fighting away in his opponent's homeland. So, yeah. I think probably after a few rounds, quite even rounds, let's say, few rounds of real slugfest, I think Okolie will prevail somewhere in the later half of the fight. And yeah, 8, 9 rounds, I don't know. At least 7 he will stop, I think. Most likely Rosansky get him down, and yeah. So yeah. And then finally the last one. And actually, this is the most important fight here, actually, and that is Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall rematch, people. Wow, this has been in a long time in the waiting for 2 years, I believe. Yeah, so this is a real grudge match. Well, we straight away I see there's quite a big height advantage for Taylor, 3 inches, only 1 inch reach advantage. Both guys are southpaws. Taylor, however, is 3 years older, and you can wonder, how much left of him. I mean, is there? And after looking, well, not that great against Teofimo Lopez in the first half, I thought he looked alright, pretty good, but in the second, not really. So yeah, Taylor, I think, has been kind of resting on his laurels after becoming the undisputed champion a little too much. So Catterall has more fights. He's 28 and one, with that only loss, of course, coming to Taylor, a disputed loss. He's got 13 knockouts, while Taylor is 19 and one with 13 also knockouts. So he is definitely the bigger puncher here. Yeah, Catterall I see as a guy who can hit pretty good, but he's not really a knockout artist or anything like that. He is kind of tricky, and but also a little kind of dirty. He can fight dirty, and yeah, as a southpaw, he's tricky. So, but this time he faces another southpaw. In the first fight, Catterall did a little better, I thought. Not that much better, as many people have said, but I thought he won 7 rounds for sure. And Taylor kind of looked also in that fight in the last few rounds. He kind of didn't do so well, kind of faded there. And this time he will have to really put on a good fight. I mean, give everything he's got. I mean, this is in Leeds this time, so no chance of him getting preferential treatment by the judges like he did at home in Scotland. So that's also good and fair, of course. And since this is not in Manchester, where Catterall is from, I hope he will not be treated. I don't think so. I don't think he will get preferential treatment. I think this is a good choice of venue and city, because we know in Leeds and Manchester really don't really they are quite they have a historical rivalry. So I don't think anybody will be that much for Catterall there, So yeah, but still, his fans will be there. I reckon more than Taylor's. I think. So what I expect from this fight is hard to say. Taylor, he's 33 now. Has been fighting at the highest level for a while now. Also, yeah. So Catterall, even though he has more fights, he hasn't been fighting at the highest level that long. And yeah, so he's definitely, I would say, the fresher fighter. But Taylor has, he has a puncher's chance. I mean, Catterall is a tough guy, definitely. So I don't think he will be knocked out. But maybe Taylor can score a knockdown or two. So that might swing the fight in his, favor. Yeah, but it will be a really tough, bruising fight, like the first one, pretty much. And Taylor must use his height advantage well. But he's not the guy who you might say always has been fighting tall. Not really, I mean, but yeah, I don't know. I just think that Taylor's best days are sadly pretty much over. I think best days. I mean, and but I would like him to win this fight because Catterall, he needs a little, humbling as well. He's been very cocky in the past couple of years since that first fight, and yeah, he can definitely be beaten by Taylor. But will he? That depends, as I said, if from the fact from whether Taylor is still has that enough of that flame in him, or not. I think he will do his best anyway to win, and I think the fight will be very close. So it can go either way, really. So yeah, that's why I don't really want to make a prediction, here. It can be even a draw or split decision, whatever. Yeah. So, but if I really have to, I must say, sadly, I lean towards Catterall because he has been the one on the up, swing. I mean, his career has been going up while Taylor's has been going down on a downward, slope. So yeah, I think there is a slightly bigger chance that Catterall wins this time, and he wants to avenge that loss, of course, which was unfair. And I think the only way Taylor can win is by really, hurting him and putting him down and even stopping him. Maybe if he is able, maybe he is. But if it goes the distance, then probably Catterall will win. Yeah, all right. So that was it for this time, everybody, and see you soon. All right, bye.